Hi, Brian from AquaTech here. Today I'm going to be showing you some Sony setup tips in order to get the most out of your Sony cameras when you combine it with our AquaTech water housing. Now for demonstration purposes, I'm going to be using the Sony A9 today, but this also translates over to the A7RIII and the A7III. When wanting full control over aperture and shutter speed, these two rear dials on the back of the Sony camera can be allocated to either shutter speed or aperture. Now by default, the top dial is shutter speed. Now the bottom dial can be allocated to many different things. To allocate aperture, first go into the main menu, then go into selection 2. From there, tap the option 8 or 9, then hit the center button when you're in custom key. Then when you go into custom key, the first option will be control wheel. Hit the center button to select that, then your first option will be aperture. Then you hit the center button, and now you've selected control wheel to control your aperture. Now if you go out of the menu, you can see the rear control wheel controls your aperture. To easily change your ISO settings with the Sony camera, we suggest using the FN button. Now what you want to do is press the FN button, then the menu will pop up. Then use this top toggle to scroll over to your ISO settings. Then just keep in mind that when it's inside the housing, you can only scroll right on the toggle. Once you're over the ISO menu, use the rear control wheel to change the settings. And once you do that, press select and you're good to go. The Sony My menu allows you to add features that you use on a daily basis. Now these are just some suggestions that we have, but you can set up your My menu as detailed as possible. By default, once you access the menu, it'll default right back to the My menu, and it'll make it easy once you're in the water and the camera is inside the housing. To start, hit the menu button, then go over to the very last menu, which is the Start menu. Then scroll down to Add Item, hit the center button to select, and the first thing we're going to add is going to be the Finder/Monitor. Now scroll over until you find Finder/Monitor, then you scroll down to that, hit the select button, then you hit it one more time, and now it's been added into your items. By having this selection, now you can manually change and decide if you want to use the rear LCD or the EVF. The auto eye sensor of the camera will not work because the backplate of the water housing will cover it. If you wish to shoot or review your images on either screen, this tip will help set up your preferences. Next, we will add another option to the My menu. This will be focus settings. Once you have gone into My menu and added focus settings, you can go back into it, hit focus settings, and this will allow you to go left and right to adjust your focus setting. Just be aware, this will only work in flexible spot and expandable flexible spot. Now the final suggestion we make for the My menu is to add custom key shoot. Now once you've gone into My menu and added that in, you can go back in, hit custom key shoot, select that with the center button. Now the first option will be control wheel, and you select that. Now the first thing that pops up is move AF points up and down. Now when you select that, now you can back control wheel and move the AF points up and down. Now the only thing is, once your control wheel is set to that, it disables the aperture off the control wheel. So make sure if you want to control your aperture, go back into the menu and set up your control wheel to control aperture. Finally, we have the C3 button on the Sony camera, and you can access this through the backplate of the water housing, located here on the back of the camera. The great thing about this control is that you can customize it to a setting of your choice, and it makes it for in-water shooting really easy. With so many options with the Sony camera of customization, we hope that these tips have helped you out and make in-water shooting with the AquaTech housing much easier. Now if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out.